This halftime report is presented by GMAC Smart Lease. Want low monthly payments on a new GM vehicle? Call 1-800-32-SMART.
Florida State and Miami, two teams highly respected and highly disliked by one another. 17-point lead for Florida State. Speaking of dislike, two teams in sports that have the most tradition and maybe most dislike, both in Seattle. Notre Dame and the Yankees. Yankees are in the baseball playoffs tonight. Notre Dame against Washington this afternoon. The Irish were down 7. John Wales, the punter, his first game as the starting punter, couldn't handle that wiffle ball coming back. Lou Holtz in the press box. His team scored. They go for 2, and Derek Mays gets the 2. Notre Dame leads 22-21. So, Washington trying to drive and get in field goal range, but Damon Heward picked off by Allen Rossum. Gets through everybody. How did he get through all those bodies on the sideline, stay in bounds, get to the end zone, and Notre Dame goes to Seattle and wins 29-21. You're not going to hear much more about Washington. That's their last game on television this year. It goes back to last year's probation. Good road win for the 4-2 Irish. Florida wins at LSU by 18. The 8th straight loss against Florida for LSU. Of course, Florida, big one next week with Auburn. Tennessee handles Arkansas 49-31. Peyton Manning threw for 4 touchdowns. Tennessee, Alabama next week on ESPN. Alabama able to beat North Carolina State by 16. North Carolina State will not get to a bowl this year, ending a streak of 7 straight years. Auburn rolled, beating Mississippi State by 28. 652 total yards, second best ever for the Tigers. Oklahoma at Iowa State. Howard Schnellenberger really wasn't thrilled with this play call in the 4th. His team down 3. P.J. Mills, the senior, called for this play. Called his own number, I guess. A 90-yard score. Sooners lead by 4. Late in the 4th, Troy Davis, who had gone over 1,000 yards in this his 5th game, fumbled the ball, so he lost yardage, but on 4th down, they hand off to him. He gets 2 yards to go over 1,000 yards rushing in 5 games. He's the 6th player all-time to do it in 5 games. First ever sophomore. Oklahoma, though, wins the game by 13. Kansas State has scored 147 consecutive points, 3 straight shutouts, first time since 33. Texas scored 24 unanswered after a lethargic first half, and Oregon beats Pacific very easily, 45-7. Graziani, 222, and a touchdown. Pretty good first half late for Danny Cannell and Andre Cooper. Cannell threw 7 straight completions at the end of the half, 2 of them Cooper touchdowns, Knowles by 17.
If you're thinking about buying a new camper, don't wait. Pepco RV Center is offering you the chance to buy a new RV at drastically reduced prices. We've got 96 models on the way, and we need space. You can own this 24-foot Coachman trailer now for only $149 a month. Or this 26-foot fifth wheel for as little as $189 a month. Make your next camping trip in a new or pre-owned RV from Pepco RV Center. Come out now and save at Pepco RV Center, 7130 West Tennessee, Tallahassee.
Hello?
Hey, Dad. I got 10 minutes and thought I'd give you a call.
Oh, since when did you get 10 minutes to call anybody?
Oh, come on. You know I've always make time for you.
All right, baby. What's on your mind?
I just had to let you know about this great team I've come across.
No kidding? Tell me about them.
Well, they're fast, they're committed, and they're a super bunch of guys.
Sounds just like those fellas at Superlube.
Superlube, service you can trust every 3,000 miles.
10 years old when Thomas Jefferson's grandson, the city mayor, helped to establish the seminary west of the Suwannee. Today, his legacy rests on the oldest continuous site of higher education in Florida. For nearly 150 years, we have sought to preserve the Jeffersonian ideals of public education and citizenship through the world's newest technologies and its oldest traditions, physically, mentally, morally. We are the keepers of the flame at Florida State University.
The game of football involves teamwork, sacrifice, and enthusiasm. Often, college football players exhibit that same spirit beyond the playing field. Student athletes assist the handicapped, work with underprivileged youth, aid the homeless, and promote the importance of education. That's why the College Football Association established a Good Works team to honor players who have helped in their community. We salute those college football players who have devoted themselves to helping others.
Back on the GMAC, let's take you under the dome in Minnesota. Chris Darkins, who's been slowed by injury this year, against Purdue, busting out tonight. 45-yard score, and he threw a shoe, just like Robert Smith, formerly of Ohio State, now the Vikings, did against the Steelers a couple of weeks ago. Darkins, a $156 and 2 touchdowns. Minnesota down by 3. Also today, Maryland replaced Milanovic with Brian Cummings, who had better stats. Terps win. Toledo, looking to remain one of the 9 unbeatens in Division 1A, leads Ball State by 3. Temple's lost 27 straight Big East games today at Syracuse. Iowa's unbeaten in 8. They're 4-0 this year. South Carolina didn't throw a pass in the last 18.5 minutes, trying to avoid more embarrassment for Kent. Washington State over 500 yards of total offense in their Pac-10 win. Duke lost 3 games all of last year. Their 4th loss today to Georgia Tech. Dukies 0-3 in conference. And over 1,100 yards in the Air Force 10-point win at home over UTEP. More of the halftime report after this.
Don't let a new truck payment stretch you to the limit. Call 1-800-32-SMART about Smart Lease by GMAC. It keeps new vehicles well within reach. Don't let a new car payment get you all wound up. Call 1-800-32-SMART about Smart Lease by GMAC. It can put a new spin on affordability.
Hi, may I help you?
Yeah, I need some shorts to play basketball.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Full court or half court?
Half, I guess.
Pick up or play? Shirts or skins?
Excuse me?
Day or night, home or away, team or one-on-one?
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. The activewear that's right for however you play. Discus Athletic. The way America plays.
Horse or pig?
I thought that being away at college meant you could really cut loose. Last night I did. I don't remember much. But I know that if I'd been sober, I never would have gotten in the car with that guy. I hardly know him. The good news is we didn't crash or anything. The bad news is now I've got to find out what else I did last night.
In baseball, the Yankees have blown a 5-0 lead. Seattle looking to tie the series. Looks like Atlanta's on their way to the League Championship Series against Cincinnati. Back to Tallahassee after this.
日本車を買うならご存知のように性能に関してはほとんど問題がありませんがしかし私どもプロフェッショナルオートモーティブセンターでは ASE 承認の技術者が万が一の大きな事故からもあなたの日本車を守りますなぜならプロフェッショナルオートモーティブセンターではあなたの車がわかる言葉で話しますそうです PAC はタラハッセの日本車専用の修理工場です
You know, feeding 4 isn't easy.
Just bring them down to Sonny's and order up a feast for 4. We'll fill your table with slow-cooked pork or beef, mouth-watering chicken, and Sonny's famous pork ribs, plus barbecue beans, coleslaw, French fries, garlic bread, and 4 soft drinks.
Make my life easy, Sonny.
Sonny's Feast for 4. We make feeding 4 easy.
The ocean and the Everglades. It's like having a natural laboratory in your own backyard. It's special because the best way to learn is by doing. We're committed to providing the best possible education for our undergraduates and making the learning environment a joy. Our university is a very special place where education goes beyond the classroom and learning never stops.
A private university dedicated to excellence, the University of Miami.
Now about to start the third quarter, Seminoles 24-7. And Mike Gottfried, I guess my question to you is, with that outburst in the second quarter, have the Seminoles postured themselves for a blowout here tonight?
I think they have, Ron. With 6 minutes to go in the second half, they just took over the ball game. And Miami only had 19 total yards in offense in the second half. So Florida State's defense is really what's turned it around.
Let's go down to the sideline and Mike Adamle, who's visiting with Miami's head coach, Butch Davis.
Coach, how do you get more offensive productivity in the second half? Now, first of all, we've got to do a better job of mixing the plays. We've got into way too much of a rhythm of trying to play conservative, keep the game close. They allowed them to play a great deal of run blitz and gang up on us in first down. We got to do a better job there of creating some things on first down. We got to make some first downs and have some offensive productivity.
Okay, good luck, Coach. Well, as we look down on the sideline and take a look at the halftime stats as Ryan Clement is warming up, what do you see, Mike?
I think the key, Ron, is rushing yardage. I said that was going to be a key, 37 yards, only 32 yards passing, and then 0 for 8 on third down right here. So just a terrible job offensively, but credit Florida State's defense. I think the Florida State defense is really what's turned this around, but 0 for 8 on third downs. You don't move the chains, and you don't keep Danny Cannell, Warrick Dunn off the field.
Yeah, the Florida State defense did intensify considerably in that second quarter, and as a result, the offense took a big step forward. Danielle Ferguson, number 1, looking onto the field as Florida State gets to start it off here. They won the opening toss and deferred to the second half. We were tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter, but then in the second quarter, 17 unanswered points by the Seminoles. Rock Preston, back deep. Good will kick it off. Also, Dee Feaster is back with Preston. He's going to let this one go. It will go out of bounds. By the way, at the end of the first half, you saw the crowded mess right in front of Florida State's sideline to answer, was there a penalty? Yes, there were offsetting penalties for shoving and pushing, and also talk going back between the two teams. So it was offsetting, and that's the reason we're starting with no penalties in this third quarter.
Well, Danny Cannell got red hot there with 6 minutes to go. He had 54 yards passing. Now he has 147, so they found a little bit of a mix in their game. The draw play to Warrick Dunn has opened up the passing game.
And really good to balance also with 155 yards rushing and 147 passing. Dunn bounces it outside. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's off to the races. Can they catch him? One man. Yes, Tremaine Mack finally will push him out of bounds at the 22-yard line. It's a run of 43 yards.
When you see a back take the ball into the short side of the field like that and get that big a play, you've got to find a wide receiver that blocks. Wayne Messam, 89, is going to be outside here blocking on Earl Little. You're going to see him just turn Earl Little to the outside. There's the block by 89. That opened it up wide for Warrick Dunn.
Kudare Williams straight ahead, breaks tackle after tackle, and he will have it all the way to the 11. Mike, the other thing, it looked as though it was, well, go ahead with the run chart.
Well, I think the successful thing for them, for Florida State's been the draw play inside until that last play where Warrick Dunn was able to get outside.
It also looked as though that corner had come up to bump, and when you start doing that, you turn your back on the play, which allowed Dunn to get a head of steam down the field.
And the track meet's about ready to begin here if they don't stop him or get the ball turned over here.
Clarence Kudare Williams takes it into left tackle for no gain. Mike Adamle, let's check back with you.
You know, everybody knows that Warrick Dunn is fast, speed, not a problem for him. The thing that really makes him tough is the fact that he's only 5'9" and he runs low to the ground. Mike, it kind of reminds me of those old Kansas City Chief days that Hank Stram had with Mike Garrett and Warren McVay. He's obscured by their offensive linemen. By the time the defense sees him, he's gone.
And he doesn't seem like he's running, but he's making a lot of yards.
Shane just get away from the linebacker. Earl Little, the corner, comes over to make the tackle on him. And it's 8 tackles we have unofficially for Little.
One of the interesting things about Warrick Dunn, he's a quarterback out of high school, and he was one of the 4 fastest time track athletes that Florida State was recruiting. But Florida State recruited him. They really recruited him to play cornerback because they thought he was had such great speed as you see him outside here. But when he got here, he went to Bobby Bowden and he said, listen, I want to be a running back. And of course, Bobby Bowden has never regretted that decision.
You can hear the crowd reacting, looking for Kudare Williams. He's already scored 1 tonight, which gave him 9 on the year. But instead, he goes with the small back, and Lewis will make the tackle. They don't get it into the end zone, but it's only about a half yard away, if that much.
You know you got a good football team when Kudare Williams can come in short yardage and usually carry the ball into the touchdowns. And Warrick Dunn does not mind that because he just wants to win. So it doesn't matter who scores the touchdown. But everybody in the stand is yelling Pooh Bear here tonight, so you probably figure it's going to be him. They'll probably give it to Warrick.
It's done. Touchdown.
I think the route's on, Ron. Florida State's offensive line has taken this game over here.
Bentley with the extra point attempt, trying to make it a 31-7 ball game.
Miami needs something in a hurry here. Well, the track needs to be gotten. Warrick Dunn getting into the end zone. Followed a block by Pooh Bear Williams.
Well, he scores the touchdown, and he also has put himself in the record books tonight with 5 consecutive 100-yard games. That sets a new Florida State record.
And you're looking at the offensive line, they don't even look like they're sweating.
Well, one of the things also that Shiver talked about yesterday, Clay Shiver, the offensive center who is so highly touted by the pro scouts, he talked in terms of the depth. And he said, you know, our number twos, the guys that play behind us, the coaches have the utmost confidence in putting them in the ballgame, which helps us because we stay fresher longer. And, of course, this team's been scoring too many points. Number twos have played a lot.
Well, they do. They play a lot, and they get a lot of experience. And Bobby Bob's one of the coaches who started playing his second-team guys early in the ballgame to give them more depth as the season rolls on.
No, Bobby, you don't see the same wrinkles in his face that you saw in that first quarter, do you?
No, he's loosened up a little bit. Tightness is gone.
After that blocked kick and Miami tied it at 7 apiece, Bobby was working on that gum and pacing pretty hard.
Big kickoff return will return those wrinkles up.
That's Gator standing.
And he's capable.
Yeah, he is. Well, he got under this one. Going to be short. And it'll come down to Trent Jones at the 14. This one here is also capable as he'll take it to the 33. Next Saturday, ESPN2 gives you a complete day of college football coverage. At 1, Alex Smith and Indiana clash with Iowa. At 5, catch all the plays on Sports Night, the college football edition.
On a lot of good backs in the Big Ten, but I'll tell you the best one may be that kid from Minnesota, Chris Darkins. We saw him on TV a couple weeks ago against Syracuse. Is he good?
And he's one that, like, you know, he's not getting a lot of attention either. He is in that part of the world, but not as far as the entire country. Ferguson going to take it up around the 40-yard line. Sean Hamlet from that safety spot will tackle him, but it's a gain of 6.
Daniel Ferguson is so deep in the backfield. He might be 9 yards deep. His heel's at 9 yards. So when they get the ball back to him, he has to run a long way to get to the line of scrimmage. But they like him deep to get the ball deep to him so he can cut back and see the holes as he gets the football.
Ferguson again. You can see it doesn't take very much. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Ron, Cal has not packed their bags against Southern Cal in Berkeley tonight. Niall Benjamin, who led the Pac-10 in punt returns last year, a great run, finding the seam, 56-yard score. They go for 2 and miss, so they need 2 possessions to try to win this game.
So the Bears saying, let's wake up here. It's not time to take that hiatus yet. Our situation is they are stretching the chains down on the sideline, and it is just short. So it'll be 3rd down. Mercier right there. We talked about him in the first half, Mike. We were talking about good running backs in the Big Ten. Mercier went to a prep school after he graduated from high school in Montreal. And the school that he went to is the one that produced Biaka Batuga. He went there. Also, you remember Haisham El Mastoud, who played guard for Arizona and is playing with the Oilers right now. Same school, so that place has been a pipeline for good players.
It's easy for you to say. But there's a lot of good players come out of Canada into the college ranks. College coaches always will go up there and find some good players. When I was in Arizona, we found a kid named Chris Schultz who played in the Canadian League for a long time.
See those linebackers creeping up in the third and short. It's Daphnis in motion, and more this is happening as Miami's getting a little frustrated with what's happening.
Dead ball foul. Ball start on the offense.
As I mentioned back in the first half also, Mercier, really interesting the fact that at his size, at 6'4", 274, he's a trick skier. He was one of the best young skiers in all of Canada. Speaks French, besides speaking English, but he said he does miss the skiing. He likes the warm weather with Miami. He's going to have to do some good blocking right here as Tony Gator comes in, the lone setback, but it is with a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down and 6 for the Kings. Gator in the draw play. Tries to get it outside, and he's going to have the first down, I believe. Yeah. At the 44-yard line, Todd Rebold finally locked him up.
Good block by Jamie German, the wide receiver from Miami. And Bobby Bowden, when he talks about this football team, knows he's going to have to get better effort out of his defense than he has early in the season to be a national contender, to win it all. Here, Gator, number 22, follows the block of German for the first down. Close to the first down. Mickey Andrews, defensive coordinator, is looking for something to rally his defense around. This kind of performance tonight could be that, where they grow in confidence.
I asked him on Thursday at the practice field, so Mickey, you kind of pulling your hair out, aren't you? And he said, I didn't have much left to pull out, but yeah. It's been one of those things where, as we mentioned, they thought they were going to have 7 back, and then 2 went into the pros. As you look at the number of the ranking of the Florida State defense.
Yeah, 76th in the country in rushing defense. That's not typical of Florida State's defensive teams, but I think they're getting a lot of good play out of their front four tonight, and they'll gain confidence in this game.
Pass caught. He kept the foot in bounds.
That's the best throw tonight that Ryan Clement has made. He threw it on time to Jermaine Chambers, who got a pretty good cushion on the outside for the completion. So a nice throw by Ryan Clement.
So they spotted at the 42-yard line, and I think you could detect in our interview with Butch Davis that Mike Adamle did with him, and he was really kind of upset with and frustrated himself with the offense.
Well, he talked about the conservative play calling, but I think that's what they had to do in this ball game. They were playing it close until that mark there late in the second quarter. They just kind of got away from it.
McMillan takes it to the 38. So you can hear the wind in our microphones up here as it seems to be picking up a little bit. Looks like the southwest that it's blowing out of. Ferguson comes back into the backfield, replacing McMillan at tailback. Counter tray, hit in the backfield, and Coward is there. Wilson in the vicinity, and a slow developing play goes either side of the football is sometimes hard to work against this kind of
well,
play.
You're right, against the speed defense, and especially with Renard Wilson getting upfield so far. The outside defensive ends, again, let's just watch them here come from the outside. Again, they stop the counter because they're able to get up the field. You see Wilson take on the block of the guard, now force it outside to Court, number 56. That's exactly what they wanted to do.
So it's 3rd down, and they need the 32-yard line.
You almost think 2 downs here, Ron, because you'll run out of here if you don't get points this time.
3-step drop, going to go up on top. And incomplete. Chambers caught it out of bounds, or couldn't hold on to it out of bounds.
I think you go for it here on 4th down. You got to get something happen here. Positive for you. That was the same type of play there that is a 2-deep coverage as that Andre Cooper scored on. Good coverage right here. Byron Capers, number 23.
And for those of you who said, well, he was face masking, you actually can do that in college. You just can't bump him until the ball gets ruled. 4th down. Crowd is standing. Got it. Complete. Yatil Green at the 21-yard line.
Got to get those chains moving. They were 0 for 8 in 3rd downs in that first half, and they've got to have something positive happening. Ryan Clement with a very good throw here to Yatil Green. And Butch Davis just challenging his football team. He knows he's still got a long season to go here. And the Big East is winnable yet if they can get back in that race. So he needs good things to happen for his quarterback and his football team tonight to build on.
We go back to the 2-back set. Derek Harris, the fullback. McMillan in a tailback. And Mack will take it into the boundary. And boy, he gets tagged and tagged again. Hamlet, the first man there to get to him, and they're going to give him progress to the 19.
Got a good block from Derek Harris, the fullback, who hardly ever carries the ball from Miami. Coming into the night, he hadn't had a carry as the starting fullback, but he's a former linebacker, former tight end, and he's there for one purpose, to block for that tailback.
This is Daphnis, the tight end, who is injured on the play. He's up, hobbles off the field. .04 to play, 3rd quarter. Florida State 31, Miami 7.
Ryan Clement's grandmother said she wasn't going to watch the ball game tonight. I think she's probably sneaking in watching this tonight, don't you think?
I hope she is.
Be real proud of Ryan Clement, but she said since the start, he's going to start against Florida State. I'm not going to watch the game. A little nervous.
Sean Hamlet also was injured on the play for Florida State, and he had to come off on the near side. 2nd down, King. Gets this one off quickly, and because of the hit, the ball comes loose. Robert Hammond put the wood on Chris C. Jones, and let's check with Mike Tirico on the baseball playoffs. Mike?
Yes, Ron, the place that stole that tomahawk chop, they were chopping a lot tonight. Fred McGriff, part of a 4-run bottom of the 3rd for Atlanta, erasing a 3-run top of the 3rd. Braves win the series. They open the LCS at Cincy on Tuesday.
Okay, Michael. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried and Mike Adamle from Tallahassee. Bill Campbell Stadium. 31-7 with 8:46 left to play 3rd quarter. Butch Davis with his first trip in here as head coach against Florida State. Of course, he came up here when he was on the staff of Jimmy Johnson. Incomplete. Now here's a flag late, but not down in the secondary. It is behind the quarterback. The referee threw this one.
Might get James Cozy for hitting the quarterback a little bit late.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Florida State came with a blitz on the outside, brought both outside corners. Cozy, number 20, there's the late hit on Ryan Clement.
Well, the officials are going to keep a real close eye on this one. We can't let it get out of hand. And that's the reason that Terry Monk threw that flag just now. Because right at the end of the first half, it got real volatile. And now a timeout has been called. And Florida State calls it. We'll take the break. We'll be right back.
King presents the first ever college football top 10 fan poll, where you, the fan, vote for who's number 1. For the 6th straight week, the number 1 team is Florida State. Go to Burger King and find out how you can make your team number 1.
Oh, you didn't get tomatoes?
Nah, I've been in kind of a rut lately, you know. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Whopper, no tomatoes.
Change your pace.
Exactly.
Expecting a weave and you bob.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking zig, you zag.
Yeah.
You're a bold man.
The Whopper. It always tastes great because it's always fixed your way, with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day at Burger King.
So, you out of your rut?
I believe I am.
You're rutless.
Enough with the ruts.
You've been ejected from the Rutmobile. No ruts, no glory.
It sounds like a cliche, but we literally wanted to put luxury at the customer's fingertips. power leather trim seats with driver's side memory.
Press here.
Dual climate zones.
Push here.
I think probably the biggest challenge was how to turn such a concept into a luxurious space for 7 passengers. Well,
Open here.
Here.
here and here. I guess we did it.
Chances are it will outlast your car and your furnace and your roof. There's no telling what your Moen faucet might outlast. Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
ESPN's presentation of CFA Primetime is brought to you by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. And by Chrysler Plymouth and your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Well, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders, just 2 of the incredible 52 players from the 1987 game that went on to play in the NFL. Miami won at 26-25 and went on to win a national championship led by Jimmy Johnson and Butch Davis. And I have a feeling that Jimmy probably has been watching this game off and on at least tonight to see how his former protege is getting along here at Tallahassee. Right now it's 31-7 Florida State, but the Hurricanes are driving. McMillan run it back into the boundary, gets by the first tackler, but will not get by Robert Hammond.
Florida State jumped into a 5-3 defense, an 8-man front, trying to stop McMillan on the run. Good, very good pursuit out of the secondary, and that Robert Hammond, number 6, with the tackle.
And you can see Cannell Spain coming in and bumping into Hammond. He was there to help him. Ferguson back in the ballgame at tailback. He gets the handoff. Boy, just another of many hits, both sides of the football tonight. Julian Pittman, number 95. He's out of Niceville. He was another of the youngsters that was very concerned about his family. That's down in the area where the storm came through. And Florida State has a player shaken up. Well, here's the storyline in our game so far. Cannell and Dunn, it's been their night. When you look at 367 yards, Cannell passing for 147, 2 touchdowns, and Dunn 16 rushes, 151 yards, 1 timeout, or 1 touchdown. And they've just said a timeout, so let's take it. 8:19 left in the third.
The Chrysler LHS is not a blend or a balance of luxury and performance. That would be a compromise. In the LHS, luxury and performance are interdependent. That's the genius of Cab Forward. The same design principles that make it spacious also give it superior handling. There's no half luxury, half performance. It's a complete vehicle. We just don't compromise in engineering, or in the value for that matter.
To keep tabs on your engine, look here. To keep tabs on your budget, look here.
You always save money at Walmart.
Save every day on Pennzoil Performax Synthetic Motor Oil. It flows in the cold and keeps cool in the heat. So it protects to the max. And that keeps things right where they should be.
And because we're always working at Walmart to save you money,
you'll find our prices are right where they should be. Always low prices, always Walmart.
Wrangler jeans. Available in the 2 colors boys prefer most. Black and blue. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Wrangler, the perfect jean for your 10-year-old son. And your 10-year-old husband. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Peyton Manning and the title-hungry Vols march south to Birmingham to tackle the Tide at Legion Field. Tennessee versus Alabama, next Saturday at 7:30, only on ESPN.
31-7 Florida State at the 8:19 mark of the third quarter. Situation, third down for the Hurricanes, and the ball resting just outside the 8. Got it right up in the middle, Jamie German, and he's going to be stopped inside the 4.
You need touchdowns here, Ron. Keep up with this offense.
So it's a 4th down and goal, and it looks as though the field goal unit is coming on. 21 Dane Pruitt. Ball is going to be put down at the 10-yard line, and Butch Davis will go for the field goal with a 4th down and goal from the 3. And he gets a good one. So we'll hold it right here with 7:12 to play in the third quarter, and it's now Florida State 31-10.
That's a good drive by Miami, and especially for Ryan Clement, the quarterback, to get a little confidence. But you really have to get 7s against Florida State. You can't afford to get 3s. That was a confidence builder for that young man.
Well, ESPN's coverage of the Senior PGA Tour, the Transamerica, continues tomorrow at 5 o'clock with the final round. And in the lead, look at this tie. Summerhays, Trevino, Smith, and Bland at 9 under. Walter Morgan at 8 under par. So look for Jim Kelly and company tomorrow. Final round coverage. 5 o'clock Eastern Time, the Transamerica. Preston and D. Feaster deploying. But they are not all the way back to the goal line as Florida State puts the good hands group up just across the 50-yard line, and they are anticipating that Miami might try an onside kick here. He kicks it away, and because of the wind, Preston able to nestle under this one at the 3. Mike Adamle, let's check back with you.
Well, there he is, Florida State's little big man, Warrick Dunn. He sets a school record tonight with his 5th straight 100-yard rushing game. He came in tied with Sammy Smith. This is how he did it. He bounces outside and then turns on the Jets. But that's only one of the things that makes him a very special running back. He's also tough, too. Bobby Bowden probably doesn't like them to see this, but when it calls for it, the situation, he can bang it in as well. Warrick Dunn, I love this guy. 5'9", 178. Bobby doesn't want him to touch the ball any more than about 25 times. They're worried about him getting hurt, but he wants to. He loves it.
Does it have any... I know you love him as a football player, but how tall are you, Mike, when you played?
5'9", 197.
There it is.
Right, you got it.
Like
I love Rock Preston.
Oh, my.
Mike Adamle, of course, an excellent running back from Northwestern.
Yeah, I started to say that's for all the folks who went to Northwestern and Mike Adamle. My phone rang just as that ball game was official, and I picked it up and said, "Hi, Mike, how are you?"
Either him or Adrian Karsten, right?
I knew that Adrian was there doing the game, so he wasn't calling yet. Hubert Williams with the carry, and Denny Fortney comes up to make the stop. You know, back to Warrick, and talking with him on the practice field the other day, this young man, the really important thing to him, he obviously wants to be a good football player, and he is that, but his books are really important to him as well, and he's gone to summer school every year so that he can stay ahead, and he told me he's taking 17 hours this semester. Computer science major. 5, 10, 15, 20, off to the races again. And finally pushed out of bounds down here at the 36-yard line. Tremaine Mack the first man to get to him. He had a 43 a minute ago. Now he rattles off a 37.
Well, Mike Adamley's favorite running back here, Warrick Dunn's going to pop again. Gets a good block, Marindelli, number 7, the wide receiver, and into the secondary again.
Now Rock Preston gives him a breather, but they go with Williams, and he takes it straight ahead for 3, maybe 4. Lang there to wrap him up.
Ron, Florida State had a special meeting after two-a-days this year, and their offense said, we want to break all the offensive records of the 1993 national champs. They want to average 46 points a game and 550 yards of offense. And there's the comparison, and they're on track tonight.
Preston. And Mike Tirico, let's check back with you.
Well, Ron, Mr. Dunn's put up some impressive numbers, but he's got a way to go to catch Chris Darkins of Minnesota. Best rushing performance in college football today. 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Purdue is answering in this score fest. Rick Trefsker's touchdown run has the Boilermakers ahead of Minnesota by 7 in the 4th.
Okay, Mike, thank you. That's the young man that Coach Godfrey was talking about. As Kuber takes it off the left side this time, and he gets down to the 19-yard line. Lewis was the man at the bottom of the stack, and when Williams at 280-plus carries the ball, it's not always the best place to be at the bottom of the pile when you stop him. Preston hit in the backfield. That's a nice job by Fortney, number 99.
This is what I was talking about a little while ago when we were talking about going for 3 or 7, because this team's so explosive on offense that they're right back knocking on the door again for 7, or they can negate your 3 real quick if they make the field goal. So tough to settle for field goals against this team.
Swings it out to Preston and knocked down by Kenny Holmes at the line of scrimmage.
Kenny Holmes has really had a good evening tonight for Miami's defense. Really set himself up to help this defense with some good plays, good pass rush, and hands up right here deflecting the Danny Cannell pass.
So it means Bentley will come on to attempt. Let's see, Cannell is going to put it down at the just short of the 30-yard line, so let's call it a 40-yard attempt.
Miami needs a block here big time.
And Miami has called a timeout, so we'll take it with them. 4:09 left to play, third quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pull out your Tribe magazine and see if you're a winner in tonight's Seminole Sweepstakes.
Tire stores sell Kelly tires.
World-class golf, the great golf courses. I just cannot stand the commute. Hey, stop blowing your horn. You don't need the whole road.
Sports Center on the way. The Rockies and Mariners battle for their playoff lives. It's a day of upsets in college football, and there's no more Thunder Dan in Phoenix. Join us for Sports Center at 11:30 Eastern.
31-10, Florida State trying to make it a 24-point lead. Ray Lewis in the middle. Nick is on its way, plenty of distance, and he is wide right. No good.
It's not a part of the game that's going to satisfy Bobby Bowden tonight. 2 missed field goals.
From one big rivalry to another, next week we'll be in Birmingham as Peyton Manning leads Tennessee up against the Crimson Tide. The Volunteers are number 10. Alabama is number 16. The battle starts at 7:30 next Saturday night. Mike, as good as his ball clubs have been, what is it about field goal kicking here at Florida State? It's really been erratic time to time.
And they were able to go out and recruit the best kicker supposedly coming out of high school football that year in Bentley. Just hasn't been consistent.
Baptist in motion. Pass is complete. That's German. Jamie German, and he'll have the first down out at the 37.
Number 7, Jamie German. Stop is made by number 26.
3, the one that he hit, 34 yards.
It's an encouraging second half from Butch Davis for Ryan Clement because he's looked like an entirely different quarterback here in the second half. Much more confidence in what he's doing.
McMillan has seen a lot of action tonight. He's back in the ballgame now. Gets the handoff and takes it straight ahead. His body's still come crashing in, and let's check back with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Well, Ron, you guys just whetted our appetite for Tennessee, Alabama next week. Bama won by 16 today. Tennessee by 18. Peyton Manning, 35 of 46, 384 yards. This touchdown pass to Joey Kent, 1 of his 4 against Arkansas.
Peyton Manning may be the best young quarterback at dissecting defenses. I mean, he really is smart, and he works hard at it. He understands game tapes and everything. He is knowledgeable when he goes line of scrimmage.
Quick study. Pressure as the ball has gotten away, but nobody's close, and the reason is because Capers was just tackling Yatil Green. Wadsworth is the man who was coming after Clement and put him to the ground just as he threw it.
See the pressure from the left side on Ryan Clement. Stands right in there. Andre Wadsworth and the pressure. Here's Yatil Green, number 87, working against Capers. A lot of contact both ways there, Ron, but of course it's going to go against Florida State.
So the penalty puts it at the 43-yard line, the 43 of Florida State. Wow, what a hit at the line of scrimmage here, with just no place to go. Coward is the man at the bottom of the pile. McMillan hit very hard, and all of a sudden was going the other direction.
Just not any movement in the offensive line on the Miami defense. You see McMillan get the handoff, but there's no place to run. He just runs into the pile of his offensive lineman, Curlin Blaze, number 79, who gets stood up by Orpheus Roy.
About to go under 2 minutes in our third quarter. He didn't get the play off. Yep, sure didn't. You could see that 25-second clock going down. And from the pattern that was run, Chambers was going to go on a post.
Dead ball foul, delay of game on the offense. Remains second down.
We're seeing a different quarterback in this second half. Here's your quarterback of the future of Miami right now. We'll maybe get a look at Scott Covington maybe in the fourth quarter, but Ryan Clement is going to take him through that Big East schedule.
German gets by one tackler, and he'll take it within 2 yards of the first down at the 35 as Shevin Smith is there to put the stop on him.
We were talking with Chuck Amato the other day, one of the defensive coaches here at Florida State, is Jamie German's coming across the middle, makes the catch, and then runs close to the first down. But he was talking about a gathering that they had down in West Palm Beach, Florida. They had coaches talk, 3 coaches talked, and all of a sudden Miami, Ryan Clement stood up, 19-year-old. He said he gave a real good speech for 15 minutes, and he knew then with that confidence that he was going to be a pretty good quarterback for Miami.
3rd down and 2. Ball is fumbled. Florida State has fallen on the football. Is it a no play or not? Howard is on the ball.
Dead ball foul against the offense. False snap. It'll remain 3rd down.
Looked like some movement in Florida State's defensive line. They tried to snap the ball. And we're moving.
So clock runs. We are under 1 minute to play, 3rd quarter. Florida State came out and got quick points in the 3rd quarter. Now Miami trying to answer again after kicking the field goal. Clement near side, intercepted, but it's out of bounds. Samari Rolle came down with it, but he was well beyond the side boundary.
Good coverage by Samari Rolle. He was in great shape there against Omar Rolle, number 9. So Rolle going against Rolle.
It's but they're not related. See if well, anyway. If one of these clubs had recruited a guy named Tide, then you'd have Roll Tide Roll.
Trying to get in that promotion in the game next week.
That's exactly right. That's who you'll see next week. Florida State sneaking up in the blitz. Clement got to be hit, and he is sacked back at the 48-yard line. Wilson. Cadell Spain was so excited he threw his own teammates down. And there's Mickey right in the middle of it. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator.
Bernard Wilson again getting a good start. Goes inside to get a good little movement. Little stun on there with Connell Spain, and he came outside. Bernard Wilson went inside, was not blocked, got right to Ryan Clement.
You also could see that actually quarterback kind of ran into the defender as Mercier appeared to have a little bit of a lock on him. Couldn't do it, though.
Give Florida State great field position.
Preston cuts it back inside. And unless we got a whistle to stop it, that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
We're talking about offensive pass interference. In this play, the receiver plays through a defender to get the ball. Is this legal?
As a new parent, my hours can be pretty unpredictable. I think a lot of the young parents that come into my office and talk about life insurance have a lot of the same needs and have gone through a lot of the same things that I've gone through. They're really looking for somebody to tell them about life insurance, to talk to somebody they trust. When people leave my office, I think they feel that, hey, this guy doesn't just know about life insurance, he knows about life, too.
State Farm is there. We're talking about offensive pass interference. In this play, we have a foul, as the receiver played through the back of his defender. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In continually refining the Concorde LX, we look at its competition and ask ourselves, how can we be better? Frankly, we feel Concorde's already the top of its class. It has the highest resale value, and it's the only one with cab-forward design. It's really a leader in its category. So how do we do better than that? Just look at its new lease.
Oh, you didn't get tomatoes?
Nah, I've been in kind of a rut lately, you know. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Whopper, no tomatoes.
Change your pace.
Exactly.
Expecting a weave and you bob.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking zig, you zag.
Yeah.
You're a bold man.
The Whopper. It always tastes great because it's always fixed your way. With fries and a drink for just $2.99. Every day at Burger King.
So, you out of your rut?
Believe I am.
You're rutless.
Enough with the ruts.
You've been ejected from the Rutmobile. No ruts, no glory.
Hey, this feels nice.
Who's pulling on my shirt?
It's me, Johnson, fool. Is this Russell Athletic?
Sure, feel like cover stitching.
Must be that new blend fabric.
Yeah, it's tough, strong.
And no little fuzzballs. By the way, anybody got the ball?
I think I got it.
That's not the ball.
Oh, sorry.
Looking for really tough athletic wear? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Florida State leading by 21 as we go into this fourth quarter. And a couple of numbers through the first 45 minutes of play. Miami, as far as rushing, 27 attempts, 54 yards for a 2 even per carry average. Florida State, 38 carries, 273 yards. They're averaging 7.2 every time they run the football. And here's the man who has done the biggest amount of damage, and Dunn, I believe, tripped over his own offensive lineman. Until that carry, Warwick had 18 attempts, 186 for an average of 10.3. Come out of the shotgun. They're going to center, and it's Dunn, and he's going to throw the ball, and the ball comes off his hand. And I'll tell you, if Jesus Hernandez didn't knock it away, that might have been picked off by Miami.
Jesus Hernandez looked like was the intended receiver on this play. It just slipped out of Warwick Dunn's hands.
Well, you can't use rosin anymore. He doesn't have gloves on, does he?
Here's the pitch, and Warwick Dunn did a nice job. He didn't show it, looked like run all the way, and then all of a sudden he raises up to throw, and the ball just slips right out of his hands like a shot put.
Oh, my. Boy, he doesn't want to see his teammates in team meeting next week. Les just blasts this one all the way to the end zone line for a touchback. That is a 49-yard punt. Mike Adamle, let's check in with you.
You know, Ron and Mike, possible sanctions by the NCAA still hang over the Miami and Florida State football program. Both schools are unsure as to when they'll go before the NCAA's Committee on Infractions. I talked to Florida State Athletic Director Dave Hart tonight about it. You know, it's left both coaches in limbo. Bobby Bowden and Butch Davis are ready to accept whatever the NCAA deals out, but they'd like to make them, or like the NCAA, have them make a decision soon, because the biggest problem they're facing right now is recruiting.
Yeah, Mike, in fact, there are 200 recruits here tonight, the most Florida State's ever had in a ball game before. Ferguson breaks it off the left side, and he'll take it all the way to the 30-yard line.
Well, we've talked about the problems with the NCAA. They just take too long. I mean, it's one organization, but they ought to have different locations and let people make decisions on these things a little bit quicker, because it does affect recruiting. It does. People use it against you.
Another gust of wind coming through up here as it continues to pick up. And now a timeout is going to be called and taken by Miami, so we'll take it with her.
You're cruising at 13,000 feet. Winds are moderate, skies clear, a perfect day to jump. It's Blue Sky skydiving outside Seattle, where you can see the world at 160 miles an hour. So if you're crazy enough to try it, Make sure you're smart enough to bring your Visa card, because at Blue Skies, American Express just won't fly. By the way, they do insist you pay first. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Ah, the joys of a minivan. That big sliding door, the heavy removable third seat, and those rear windows that don't roll down. Oh, what could be better? Introducing Odyssey. With 4 doors and an easy fold-away rear seat. It's not just a minivan. It's a Honda.
College sports on DirecTV. Takes me back to my days at digging in on the goal line, making my moves from the top of the key. Because I get hundreds of college football and basketball games I can't get on cable. Even my alma maters. Ah, the long hours of practice, the uniforms, the camaraderie. I was the best horn player in the band.
Now for as low as $34.95 a month, you can own the 18-inch DSS dish of your choice with DirecTV programming. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
ESPN's presentation of CFA Primetime is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. And by American Honda, celebrating their 25th anniversary of selling cars in America. Warrick Dunn scoring that touchdown. Well, actually, he doesn't get in right there, but 184 yards for him tonight. That is a career high. As he did score on a similar play in the first half. So Miami took the timeout. They have but 1 remaining. 31-10. Miami trailing Florida State with a first down at the 30. Running pass, picked off, Colsey.
Ron, James Colsey just read that play and just sat in waiting. And not a real strong throw by Ryan Clement. James Colsey just looked at Ryan Clement's eyes, read it. Just watch number 20. He's reading the eyes. Now he goes off the receiver. Now he breaks on the ball. He's right there for the interception. Moved right in front of Omar Rowe for the big pick. Good effort by the Florida State defense tonight. They've held Miami to 64 yards rushing. And that was, I think, the key for Miami. They had to run the football successfully.
Well, they also have held the Miami defense out of the end zone. The touchdown was a special teams touchdown. 10 of 23 for Ryan, 96 yards, 2 intercepts. And you could tell by the eyes of the defender that he stared at him long and hard, too long.
He knew that play was coming. James Colsey broke on that football. Good interception, good position, good break. This may be the last series for Danny Cannell. We may see Thad Busby, who's a very impressive young quarterback.
Well, up on top for the end zone. Riley, what a catch for the touchdown.
Sometimes when you get benched, Ron, you lose a little confidence also. It can be a wake-up call, but it can also be a lost confidence call. And Carlos Jones was behind Philip Riley, and I don't know if he ever saw the football. Because he sure didn't break up on it.
Bentley gets the extra point, and we'll take a timeout with our new score. Florida State 38 and Miami 10.
Over 25 years ago, Honda built the first ATV.
Now we've built our most powerful, the Foreman 400. Where do we go from here? Just about anywhere we want.
My, what big ears you have.
All the better to hear you with, my dear.
And what big eyes you have.
The better to see you with, my dear.
Real red, real smooth. Red Wolf.
My, what big teeth you have. What are they for? Oh, my.
Follow your instincts.
Come on, move the car. Hey, move the car. Hey, what is wrong with you? Move the...
Peyton Manning and the title-hungry Vols march south to Birmingham to tackle the Tide at Legion Field. Tennessee versus Alabama, next Saturday at 7:30, only on ESPN.
Oh, what a difference a year makes. Danny Cannell last year threw 3 interceptions. Now this year there's a 3 and it has touchdowns.
Well, he said last year he had a sick feeling when he left that stadium in Miami after that loss, but he makes up with it tonight with his jump ball to Andre Cooper and then the pass to Philip Riley here for the touchdown under pressure, and you see his right hand go up. He waited a whole year to come back from that loss last year, and he said he just had that sick feeling, and he wanted to absorb as much as he could, but he was going to erase that tonight.
He's from Fort Lauderdale. His dad is one of the team doctors for the Miami Dolphins.
And he only played 2 years in high school, so he's really relatively young as far as quarterbacking goes. Mike Phipps was his high school coach, former Browns quarterback.
It's going to be Magic Menton with the return for Miami. And Mike Tirico, let's check back with you.
This whack-like shootout, this McDonald's breakaway, has ended in Minnesota. Chris Darkins, 294 yards on the night and 3 touchdowns. After he scored, and that was on another play, not the one we saw, Minnesota goes for 2 and makes it, so they're up 1. But Brad Bobich couldn't kick the game-winning field goal for Purdue. Minnesota, 1-0 in the Big Ten, to beat Purdue by 1.
294 yards. Mike Lombardi, who's the personnel director of the Browns, talked to me about Chris Darkins way in the summer. He said, look out for that running back.
Well, Covington has come in at quarterback. And right off the bat, we got a
dead ball foul. False start.
Ball start, so we're dealing with a different cadence. New quarterback, and he's greeted with a 5-yarder right off the bat.
Now, I like Scott Covington. What I watched of him in practice at Miami before the season started. Now, he missed all spring practice with surgery. Larry Coker, the quarterback coach, said had he gotten the opportunity that Ryan Clement got, he would have done the same good job at Virginia Tech.
Ferguson to the left side. Oh, a pretty good collision there. You could hear the pop. Vernon Crawford, 47, comes up to fill the hole.
Scott Covington has a strong arm. Very highly recruited player out of Laguna, California. Gets his chance with 12 minutes on the clock.
He's even a little bit taller than Ryan Clement. Ryan is 6'2", and Scott is listed as 6'3". Both with good size, around 200 pounds. See his first pass, lobs it out there just beyond the outstretched hands of Yatil Green.
Tom, we talked about running backs a little bit ago. Troy Davis, Iowa State, had that good ball game again where he went over 1,000 yards. He's from Miami, Southridge High School. There's so many players in the state of Florida. But his brother was on a pace to break his records in high school and broke his leg down there. So there's a lot of good running backs coming out of that Miami area also.
This state has really produced just tons and tons of great football players. And
the biggest percentage of 3 really good football teams. And about another 150 go out to other schools. scholarship.
Draw play with Ferguson. Weaves his way. Finally caught from behind by Wadsworth. Andre plays behind Cannell Spain, and we've called his number several times since he's come in. And he's only a sophomore.
And I would think that we're going to see Thad Busby now, and then you're going to see another impressive quarterback come off that bench for Florida State. I think this guy really, Thad Busby, has a great career, not only here ahead, but he's going to be playing in the NFL someday.
Chrissy's kick. Bearcats is called for and is made at the 40. Well, the 1995 college basketball season tips off next Saturday with Midnight Madness. ESPN comes to you live from Maryland, Virginia, and Michigan. And what about ESPN2? Well, the Deuce will be in Kansas, Minnesota, and Mississippi State 1 week from tonight. Midnight Madness. Thad Busby comes in at quarterback. He is out of Pace, Florida, which also is right down in the area where the storm came through earlier this week. You see his numbers. Play action, puts it on his hip, and it is caught. That's Duggins. .42 yards. Welcome to the game, Thad.
It's a good start for Thad Busby. He's an impressive quarterback, and I don't know how they keep getting quarterbacks here. They just keep coming to school here, even though there's some great ones on campus. Against Earl Little, number 4, Thad Busby with a good throw to Ron Duggins.
You know what?
And they wait their turn. That's the interesting thing about it.
You know what Bobby said in the meeting yesterday? He's going after another one this year because of the fact he thinks they're down 1 or 2. They need a couple of more quarterbacks.
Yeah, they can put them on each other's back. I mean, they've got so many good quarterbacks. You got Kendra on the sideline, who was a highly recruited player out of Pennsylvania. Everybody thought he was going to go to Penn State. And then you talk about Dan Kendra, the freshman. He's going to redshirt. They say he could be a linebacker. And then Randy Moss, who was signed in Notre Dame, and then ran into a problem. Lou Holtz called Bobby Bowden, told him he thought he should take him, and they're going to bring him in here. He's in here in school right now. Going to be a great wide receiver for Florida State. Not going to play this year.
Mike, the coaches say they are redshirting 3 wide receivers that are as good as any they've ever had here. So looks like the production line continues. Busby caught from behind. It's Kenny Holmes. He will sack him back at the 21-yard line.
That's the kind of front play that you expect out of Miami. Kenny Holmes making the sack on Thad Busby. He really didn't buy the fake at all. Stayed right with the quarterback, sacking.
Kamari Charlton coming out of the lineup. Loss of 6 on the play. Clock running. We're now under 10 left in the ball game. Florida State 38-10. And you can see Kevin Long, 51, a sophomore out of Summerville, South Carolina, has come in replacing Shiver at center. To the 16, Burgess will trip him up. And it's going to be 4th down. And Bentley will come on, and the crowd doesn't agree. They'd like to score as many as they can on Miami.
Well, there's not a lot of love lost. Either way, Miami and Florida State, or Florida State
and Miami. The same reaction if we were in the Orange Bowl and the shoe was on the other foot.
And that other school in the middle down there, they have the same reaction. They like to let them have it.
Let's see if Bentley can go to 2 or 4, and he does. Right down Pensacola Avenue on that one. Take a break. 38-10, Seminoles on top.
When Subway asked us, Bucky and Vinny, to review their authentic steak and cheese sandwich, we went to the steak and cheese capital of the world, Philadelphia.
Hey, this is where they filmed my favorite movie.
How about a great steak and cheese? Hey, champ, steak and cheese, please.
This is very good, this is. Like it, huh?
This is the real McCoy. Tender, juicy steak with loads of melted cheese, all on fresh baked bread.
We have a winner.
Subway, what a sandwich.
heat pump business is awful.
Yes, sir.
We need something new, high-tech, like,
The Train XL1400?
Right. Up to 15.45 SCERs, the reliable Climate-Tuck compressor.
Quiet, sir.
Exactly. It runs so quietly. And it has a 10-year parts and labor warranty. How do we get a heat pump that good?
Call a Train dealer.
Harper Rebel Heating and Air has built a reputation for quality service and installations.
Call Harper Rebel today. We do it right the first time.
Yeah, able to go sideline to sideline on a single bound.
He misses half the time.
They let him run his ball. He still makes 15.
Yeah, he misses a lot, but he makes a whole lot.
You know, he's not as good as the guy over here on my left. You were good, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernie.
So long, Junior.
Sports Center on the way. The Rockies and Mariners battle for their playoff lives. It's a day of upsets in college football, and there's no more Thunder Dan in Phoenix. Join us for Sports Center at 11:30 Eastern.
Linebacker Burgess, that's Ray Lewis just to his left. Also Twan Russell, number 45. This is a tough pill to swallow for these young guys because, as Mike said, because of the very strong feeling by these schools about each other, it's to lose is one thing, but to really get shattered is something else. And
The most scored, 41 points. And Ron, Miami hasn't been 1-3 since 1976. So they have had a lot of success.
Going to be Magic Benton on the run at the 12.
You hope he becomes a player with that name, Magic Benton.
That's a great name. If he doesn't run a little lower on the kickoff, though, he's not going to be a player.
He's going to disappear, huh?
He's going to disappear. It's been the knees and the back a little bit more.
It'll be interesting how Miami reacts from this loss, because they still, as I said before, they still have the chance, now that they're in the league, the Big East, they still can play for a league title. So I think that's the thing Butch Davis will want to come out of this game, find out the recipe that he needs to take into the Big East the rest of the way to try to win that league again.
Covington's pass, and it's dropped. Trent Jones hit him right in the side, and he just dropped it. Well, the remaining schedule, Mike.
Yeah, they've got a schedule that they can win some ball games there. There's no dominating football team on the remaining schedule. So they still have a chance, even though they've got a loss in the league at Virginia Tech. It's the league gets wide open. A lot of competitive teams in the East, Big East.
Joseph in motion. Covington gets by the first pressure, will not get by Bulwer. Four sacks by Florida State tonight.
Bulwer is really impressive because he's a very good pass rusher. They like him in pass situations because he really has a quick start out of his stance. He really moves. Number 58 being blocked here by Jay Johnson, number 74, just gets by him and then takes Scott Covington to the ground.
Third down. Line to make is the 35-yard line. Jones gets this one, and then he's going to be tackled by Sam Cowell. Sam leads the team in tackles, and you can see his agility, the quickest of the linebackers, and he's there to snuff out that swing pass. Oh, coming up, the Residence Inn scoreboard, the Colorado upset, Northwestern wins, and Eddie Getz, number 400. That and more. This is Pruitt punting this time instead of Chrissy, and boy, this is not very pretty, but at the 41, Feaster is tackled immediately, and let's check in with Mike Adamle. Mike?
Well, Ron and Mike, all night long we have talked about the great athletic talent on the field tonight, but how about the unsung heroes, our centers of attention like Casey Jones and Clay Shiver of Florida State. Clay is so smart, he makes all the line calls. A great blocker. Danny Cannell even lets him watch films with him. And Casey Jones, he'll play on Sunday afternoons, likens himself to Mark Stepnowski, and he pass blocks like a maniac. But Clay Shiver, this guy is a quarterback trapped in the center's body. It's something he wanted to do all of his life, but hasn't had a chance. Maybe the way the game's going, Bobby Bowden will put him behind another center.
You know, Mike, it's interesting that Casey likens himself, or he likes to watch Stepnowski, because Shiver told me yesterday the same thing, and I think it's probably because Stepnowski is a little bit undersized compared to some of the centers in the league, and both of these guys are comparable in size. Shiver's about 6'2", 270. Casey is 6'2", 257. But they are both very, very good young prospects for the NFL. Draw play, and it's going to be Feaster. Feaster is a freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Yeah, he was the player of the year in South Carolina, and a big recruiting battle in Florida State ended up with him, and the coaches are real impressed with his quickness. They say just like Warrick Dunn. So they really don't lose anything when Warrick Dunn's out of there. Rock Preston's in there, and then you get Feaster on the field. So you've got the same kind of backs.
Can't be a tailback here, Mike, and be over 5'9". That's what it looks like, because both Warrick, Rock, and D are all that size.
Cookie cutters.
Thad Busby rolls out, goes to Feaster. See what he can do in the open field. Well, he does look a lot like Dunn or Preston, doesn't he?
Warrick Dunn, he's passing his approval on the young Feaster.
Mike, it's always interesting that as we follow these teams and we see these kids as freshmen and then sophomore, junior, and as they move on up the ladder, but particularly looking at Warrick there, this young man I've always thought has been extremely mature because of what he went through at an earlier time in his life, losing his mom, what happened down at Baton Rouge. But he is extremely mature right now as a junior in college. This running play goes straight ahead to the 33. Kenny Holmes is down at the bottom of the pile.
When you talk about the running back situation, Chuck Amalo was telling us a story the other day about Bobby Bowden and Danielle Ferguson's home and recruiting him. And he said, you know, all of a sudden, Chuck Mouse almost fell off the couch. He said, son, you know we got a lot of good running backs there. Why do you want to come there? And Chuck Mouse said, why did you say that after? He said, I want to be honest with him. He said, we do have some good running backs there. So Danielle opted to go to, first of all, committed to Notre Dame and then decided on Miami.
Yeah, Chuck said they walked out and got in the car, and he said, Coach, why did you say that?
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And I'll tell you, Florida State, we talk about the running backs, but they got a lot of great receivers on this field, too. Starting with number 1, Andre Cooper. Big play offense, big play, going up for the football, the passes that they can jump for. Here's Philip Riley making the catch.
Abdullah, the freshman out of Davie, Florida, carries on that play, and it's Vinnie Portman.
You look at those throws, Ron, and we talked about R.C. Owens when I was a kid. They used to talk about the alley-oop pass, and R.C. Owens probably maybe watching this game tonight. He'd admire these guys because the ball really is put up for grabs, and when you throw it up, and Andre Cooper in that 6'2 frame, and Wayne Messam made a catch tonight, that 6'4 frame, they are able to make the quarterback look pretty good.
Kenny Holmes will get the sack. Look out, Terry. Terry Monk, the referee, with a smile on his face, and he hops right back up, but he got caught in the melee.
Well, Terry, he flies out of Mobile because he's over in Mississippi. He really is a good official and a real likable guy, but I don't think they're going to give Kenny Holmes any more than one sack there for taking Terry Monk down, too.
Probably officially should say at least 1.5.
Terry's probably saying, you know, it's been a long night. I should have been out of the way here, but I kind of fell asleep and was counting my money here a little bit.
Well, the umpire got hit earlier. Yeah. He got rolled up. He's okay. This is Benton on the return. ESPN is your home for college football again next Saturday. At 11:30, it starts with College Game Day. 12:30, Penn State takes on Purdue. 3:30 and 7, it scores and highlights. At 7:30, Tennessee marches into Alabama. And at 10:30, we put a period on the day.
Next Saturday, of course, Tennessee's had problems with Alabama. That's been one of those kind of games they haven't been able to get over the hump.
I thought it was a big win for the Vols today because also Arkansas has been a nemesis for them in recent years. German, and he stopped at the 27.
Ron, we talked earlier tonight, Deion Sanders, of course, on, and I thought it was really a great gesture with the equipment manager, what he did. Showed me a little class in Deion Sanders tonight, but I'm a little disappointed. I thought maybe Lee Corso's jersey would have been retired here. You know, that little quarterback, highly recruited. And there he is, interception leaders. And he's tied with, the only thing, he might be tied with interceptions, but not money. Because Deion got a lot more money than Lee Corso.
Ball is incomplete as it hits right in the hands of Chris C. Jones and popped out, and then the collision came.
You agree as you see Lee there? He may have as much money as Deion. What do you think? Dressing like he's got a lot of money.
He may have more.
And he's keeping it, too.
No, he doesn't know enough Jones like Deion does. Or the right Jones, anyway. 2:57 left in our ball game. 41-10, Florida State. Covington continues to go at quarterback. Brings it out to McMillan. Gets by one tackler, and then we'll go out of bounds. And Mike Tirico, let's check back with you.
All right, Ron, as you guys look ahead to Tennessee, Alabama next week, Brian Bergdorf hits Ed Schism today with his touchdown. Crimson Tide lead 10-0 at that point, go on to a 27-11 win over North Carolina State.
17-25. The offense needed that at Alabama because last week in the big outburst in the 31 points, still it was the defensive special teams.
Yeah, but you like that, though. If your defense is going to give you those points, I read a quote by Gene Stallings where he said, hey, our defense was playing so well, there was no sense in really opening it up.
Hard to take the defense off the field to keep them running it up.
They've always played great defense at Alabama.
Yep, they do. Covington with his pass has it complete at the 48. Mike, I see what you mean. This youngster really has a nice motion. He really throws well.
I'm telling you, I'm impressed with Scott Covington because he's got a good eyes. He's got good vision. He's got a good release. He's a strong arm. With 6'3" frame. You're going to hear a lot about him down in Miami.
Coming up next, Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard.
The Alabama defense will get a challenge with Peyton Manning because they're going to see a different Peyton Manning than they saw a year ago.
And he is knocked down, Andre Wadsworth. Well, we mentioned that he had come in replacing Spains. I mean, he's had a very good night.
Chuck Amato likes to roll, the defensive line coach. He likes to roll 8 defensive linemen in the game just for the fourth quarter. So he's got fresh people. Andre Wadsworth, good sack on Scott Covington. Good smart move by Scott Covington. He couldn't get rid of that football. There's no sense in throwing it up.
No, good decision just to tuck it and take the sack. It's 5 times Miami quarterbacks have been sacked this season. Under 2 minutes to play. Tipped and incomplete. And now it's time for tonight's Visa Players of the Game. As the flag goes down.
Pass interference on the defense. 5 foul. First down.
Well, the Visa Player of the Game from the Miami Hurricanes. Kenny Holmes, 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 breakups. And from Florida State, Warwick Dunn. As part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of these athletes. Dunn, 20 carries, 185 yards.
Really good pressure by Florida State tonight in their front 4. They've really been able to get to the quarterback tonight, sack-wise and pressure-wise.
Covington swings it out to Trent Jones. Inside the 45. He lost the football, but the officials are saying he had stepped out of bounds, so the ball was dead.
Another good decision by Scott Covington. Talked about the front four tonight being the key to the ball game. I think both front fours really had a pretty good evening, but Florida State, when you take those 5 sacks and 2 pressures out of that front four, especially Renard Wilson and Andre Wadsworth, Peter Boulware, they really got some play and pressure on the quarterback. Mickey Andrews has to be happy with that tonight. He doesn't look happy, but he probably deep down inside, he's a happy man. Not going to show it, though.
This was a good test, and a lot of people passed it well. Covington's pass complete. Magic Benton breaks away, and he will score the touchdown.
You see what I'm talking about release-wise with Scott Covington? I mean, he really throws a nice football. It's a good release, good wrist action. And our new man, Magic Benton for the touchdown. The Magic Man. It's a real nice throw by Scott Covington. Holds that ball in there, good zip on it to Magic. And then the Magic getting in the end zone.
But again, just another in a long list. You saw how well he ran. This game is never devoid of great athletes, is it? Pruitt with the extra point attempt. He gets it. And with 1:13 showing on the clock, it's now 41-17. Oh, don't forget, coming up next, the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard. Colorado upset today. Northwestern wins again, and Eddie gets number 400.
Yeah, congratulations to Eddie Robinson. That's a great achievement.
Mike Adamle, get your comments about this ball game tonight. From the first quarter to right now, metamorphosis as far as the Seminoles are concerned, right?
Well, again, we've talked about their talent and their ability to, play with anybody. Deion Sanders did give the pregame pep talk tonight. He and William Floyd did. They talked about, I'm talking to Chuck Amato right now, about their experiences in this game. They knew they had to have it to make a run at the national championship, and they are impressive. And so are my Wildcats, man. This is a great day. This is a great day, and my brother Vic, who's an assistant coach at Kansas, great night for the Adamle family.
How did Kent Roosevelt do today? In high school.
I haven't talked to my dad yet, but I'll do that as soon as this game is over.
By the way, speaking of those schools, Mark Williams of Kansas, the quarterback, 25 of 35 today, Mike. 299 yards and a touchdown. And June Henley of KU, 23 carries, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. Some of the other top performances today, Bobby Hoyne, Ohio State, 24 of 35, 354 yards and 3 touchdowns. Terry Glenn, the wide receiver from Ohio State, 9 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So we have 1:13 left to play. Both teams, special teams, going to the sideline to get last-moment instructions on the onside kick that is about to come as we take a look at Florida State's schedule. Wake Forest, then Georgia Tech. Then on the second, they have Virginia. That one on Thursday night that you'll see on ESPN.
They've got back-to-back games there with Virginia and North Carolina. It's going to be real big test. And, of course, that November 25th game down the road will be a match of some pretty good offenses.
So let's take a break. 1:13 left in the ball game. We'll be right back.
Just because you grew up, got a job, got married, and had a family doesn't mean you have to get one of those, Introducing Odyssey. With 4 doors and an easy fold-away rear seat, It's not just a minivan. It's a Honda.
When you're Barry Sanders, one of the quickest men in the NFL, some days it seems like no one can touch you. No one can catch you. No one can even come close.
Anyway, coming through. Men on the Mickey D's mission. Sausage McMuffin with egg, 4-minute milers coming through.
Now you can convert $2 into 2 Morning Fresh Sausage McMuffins with egg, or 2 hot, tempting Quarter Pounders with cheese. But the clock's ticking, so hurry.
Hey, look who's here. Hey, Louis Leslie. Slow-mo Joe. Barry Sandbag.
Your break today.
The road doesn't always rise to meet you. The wind isn't always at your back. So for energy, always rely on a low-fat, highly nutritious Power Bar.
So you look at the alignment, and of course, with the college rule that has changed in the last couple of years, you have to have 7 men on one side of the ball. Can't have less than 7. In fact, Miami got a penalty against BPI 2 weeks ago because they looped that man right next to the kicker over to the other side, leaving only 3 on one side. That's a violation. Onside kick is touched and now recovered by Florida State at the 45. E.G. Green, part of the Good Hands team. Number 19, sophomore out of Fort Walton Beach, gets the recovery. Crowd is standing and cheering as the players on the sideline are turning and waving their hands, trying to get them fired up one more time. Thad Busby back in at quarterback. And that's Feaster. Takes it back in toward the boundary. A couple of yards in the play. And I'll tell you, the umpire got run over again, didn't he? This has been a tough night on the officials. Is that the umpire or the...
That's the umpire, Ron Clagis. They're going to need the whirlpool after the game. At their age, they do not come back as fast as these players.
You speak from experience, I know. Well, some of the Hurricanes on the sideline, and as we mentioned, this is an extremely tough pill to swallow. Never like to lose to the Seminoles, just as the Seminoles never like to lose to the Canes, but particularly by this margin. Feaster straight ahead, and that could be the last play of our ball game as Derek Ham comes up to make the tackle. Bobby Bowden looks up at the scoreboard. Teams are beginning to head on the field, and this one will go in the books as a solid win for the Seminoles of Florida State. That's the end of our ball game with the final score. Florida State 41, Miami 17. For Mike Gottfried and Mike Adamle, this is Ron Franklin saying so long from Tallahassee. The Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard is next. Let's join Mike Tirico. Mike?
All right, Ron, thanks. See you guys in Birmingham next week for Tennessee, Alabama. So Miami, 1-3. They've lost by 23 and 24 already this year. Welcome to the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard. We'll take it to 11:30. It's been a great Saturday in college football. We have all the scores, highlights, and all the stories. Plus, we'll take you back to Tallahassee. SportsCenter follows us, then baseball tonight. So don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. Florida State got started early and won big.
Stop at Pep Boys now for our premium brake service. Our ASE certified technicians will install Raybestos lifetime warranty brakes for only $99.99. Get lifetime brakes installed for under $100. Only at Pep Boys. Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now.
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights up.
Man, I'm hungry.
Russell Athletic Wear is made to handle the toughest situations on and off the field.
Hot dog. French fries. Hamburger. Tacos. Tacos grande. Pizza. Coach, going somewhere, ladies. Hard work. Dedication. Commitment.
Get Russell Athletics. Get tough.
Get up there, Lord, bud. Go, go. I know I can't feel any better than you're making me feel right now. Northwest.
This scoreboard is brought to you by Residence Inn.
Florida State victorious in our primetime game. Welcome to the post-game scoreboard. SportsCenter comes up at the bottom of the hour. This is the first Saturday in October. Through the month of September, 6 top 10 teams lost. Today, the first Saturday of October, 4 top 10 teams lost. Why? Well, in part, a lot of conference games, including Kansas going to Boulder to take on Colorado. The Buffs looking to knock off their 3rd top 25 team in a row. Second half, 23-17 Kansas. Koy Detmer, who did play in both halves, sandwiched high and low. He limped off the field but returned in the fourth quarter, 26-24 Kansas. And June Henley explodes for 43 yards. He picked the right hole, 33-24 Jayhawks. Detmer came back into the game, coming off that knee injury from a few weeks ago. Miscommunication with Ray Caruth here, picked off by Freddie Hammonds. Hammonds put it in position. KU drove it down to the 8th, and Mark Williams, who still hasn't lost as a KU quarterback, to Isaac Byrd, 40-24 Kansas. Detmer stays in the game, and here, not touched by anyone, the knee gives out. Koy Detmer hurt the knee against A&M, missed the game against Oklahoma, tried to come back today. The brace just couldn't support that torn anterior cruciate ligament. Surgery on Monday. He is out for the rest of the season. Give credit to KU. First 5-0 start for the school since 1968. They end a 10-game losing streak to Colorado. Among the other upsets, Northwestern at Michigan. In the fourth quarter, Michigan leads 13-9. Brian Griese, the quarterback, is picked off by Eric Collier. Collier returns it into good field position as the Michigan defense try to get together. The next play, Northwestern kind of held this one in the bag. Schnurr, the quarterback, to Dwayne Bates, who throws to Darren Drexler, 26 yards to the 5. A couple of plays later on 3rd and goal, play action to the fullback, Matt Hartell. The extra point made it 16-13. Northwestern added another field goal, and Gary Barnett, who was an assistant under Bill McCartney, said, "McCartney taught me the Michigan heritage, what Michigan football is about. This win more important to Barnett than the win at Notre Dame," or so he said after the game. Northwestern shocks Michigan by 6. Texas A&M at Texas Tech. Fourth quarter.
If you like football, if you like the best coverage, college, prep, or pro, Eyewitness Sports knows the score, plus a whole lot more. Get the football you want from the people you know. Eyewitness Sports, only on WCTV.
Where's the statement purchase order or checks on our computer press? Remember, when you need printing of any kind, who do you call? Anchor Business Form.
David Bishop and Liz Compton on Eyewitness News at 6 and 11 on WCTV. This is WCTV, Channel 6, Thomasville, Tallahassee. You're watching WCTV, Channel 6, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
The end zone, jumping up is Cooper. Touchdown! Touchdown, Florida State! The Bobby Bowden Show is brought to you today by Coca-Cola.